All right, we're looking at problem 16 from the practice problems for 1-3. This was on medians and the centroid theorem. So they're telling us that J, P, and L are the midpoint. So that means what we have drawn in are medians. So this from H to L, that's definitely a median because L is a midpoint. Okay. KH, HM, and MK. Oh, they're telling us it's the midpoint of the other side. They want you to find X, Y, and Z. So it's important here that we recognize that this point right here, Q, is our centroid. So it is splitting up every median into two parts where one is twice as big as the other. So if we start with X, and actually on this one, X is the trickiest one. They show you that here. Here's your expression for X right here from QP. It's the expression 2x minus 7. On this side, KQ, I'll do it here in pink, is 7. So that means this yellow section is half that size, or 7 is twice as big as this size. So what I want to do here, in order to write an equation that I can solve, in order to make them equal, I would want to take my short side, 2x minus 6, and I would want to double it. I would want to make it twice as big, so I get 2 of the yellow to equal the pink. So if I double that, that equals 7. So this is an equation that you could solve. Several people went the other way, and they took the 7 and they took half of that immediately, right? And then that's the same size here. So they went right to half of 7, which is 3.5. And now once we've cut this guy in half, any one of those pieces is equal to 2x minus 6. So there's two different ways to kind of conceptualize it and set up the equation. That said, it's the same equation. It's going to have the same answer. In fact, if I go back to this one, the first thing I'm going to do is divide both sides by 2. That will cancel here. And that's going to leave me 2x minus 6 equals 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. Okay, so now I'm just solving the equation for x. I'm going to add 6 to both sides. And that's going to get me 2x is equal to 9.5. And my last step is just to divide it by 2. And you're absolutely welcome to use a calculator here on these if you want any support with computations. I'll just pull mine out here. I'm going to do 9.5 divided by 2. That's going to give me 4.75. And that's my answer for x. X is 4.75. So that's my first answer because it wanted me to find x, y, and z. There's my x. Okay, the other two, I think if I looked at it earlier, I did, are a little bit easier. At least solving for y is a little bit easier. So y I've already got kind of drawn in here as green. This side right here is the shorter side. Y is the longer side, so y is twice as big as the shorter side. I take my shorter side 3, and I need to double that. If I double this length, it will equal my longer side, which is y. So that equation is fairly straightforward to solve. Y equals 6. All right, that's the shorter leg 3. Y is the bigger side, double it, and I get that. Okay, so let's do z as well. So z is not drawn in yet. Z is on this median. 2z is my shorter section. And 4 here is my longer one. So in order to make an equation that I could solve, I need to double 2z, multiply that by 2, and then that will equal 4. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here. Just kind of running out of room with paper. So I'm going to take my 2z, and I'm going to double that. That will equal 4. So then I got 4z equals 4, divide by 4, z equals 1. By the way, you may be conceptualizing it slightly different, and you might be starting with your 4 and taking half of that, and that equals the 2z. If I take my 4 and I divide it in half, that will equal my shorter section, 2z, but I'll show you, you're going to get the same answer. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Divide by 2. And 1 is z. So either way, I'm going to get z equals 1. However, I'm kind of conceptualizing it in my head. So z is 1, x is 4.75, and y is 6. Hopefully that's helpful. Please feel free to message me anytime you have a question.